Parashat Korah, we read yesterday the first verse about Korah getting the people together in the Midrashic interpretation. They now confront Moshe and say, he comes with 250 people. They're all the leaders, Nesiei Aida. You have to think, they are the chieftains or the renowned people. He's getting 250 people, so each tribe sends more than 20 representatives. So it's an uprising. Some of the commentators, Moshe ben Nahman, among them say that the reason that Korah was able to now work up the people and confront Moshe was that now Moshe failed in their eyes. He failed to protect them, because in the past, every time they sinned, he was able to negotiate a deal with God. But this time, after the scouts came back from Canaan and said we cannot go, and the people would not go to not accept the idea of going to Canaan, the punishment was given 40 years in the desert. They were told, you are going to die in the desert. So now they said, okay, he failed as a leader, we could go against him. And what is that they tell Moshe and Aaron? Vayomeru aleim רב לכם ככל העדה כולם קדושים ובטוחם אדוני ומדוע תתנשאו על קהל אדוני. So they say, enough, we are all holy, we are all sanctified by God, we don't need any leaders. That's what we commented yesterday, that Moshe tested them by saying, okay, let's see who from among you who wants to be the leader, and they all jumped on it. Everybody wanted to be the leader. That's how he knew that they're hypocrites, that they really want glory for themselves and not the equality for the people. So Moshe devises this test. He says, bring your pans and frankincense, etc. And then he breaks their group into separate units to see what is the intention, what is the goal of each one in this group, which is a smart political move. And when you have opposition, you ask yourself, or not only in politics, in marketing, every time you deal with the social interaction, you want to ask yourself whether a group that has formed has a shared objective, or they share the means. Meaning, in this case, they all want to bring down Moshe, but to what end? So he tells Korah and the people of Levi, you want to become Kohanim instead of Aaron. Why do you need that? Hama'at mikem ki ivdil Elo Yisrael etchem me'adat Yisrael. You are already separated and elevated from the community. You already brought closer to God. La'akriv etchem. And the word karov is a key word in Midbar. The Torah always says, ve'azara karev yumat. The alien, the foreigner who comes close will be punished. So it's about boundaries. And Moshe tells Bnei Levi, there are boundaries around the camp. Everything there's a hierarchy. The inner sanctuary, then the Kodesh HaKodashim, the Holy of Holies, then the Holy, the Mikdash, the courtyards, the Israelite camp. It says you already have security clearance to go almost to the highest level. That's called likrav, to be karov, to be close, is to have security clearance, or let's call it sanctity clearance, okay? So because the Levim. So it says you were brought closer. Uvikashtem gam kiuna. You can't have everybody to be a kohen. You have imagine that the country would have 10 presidents, or 5 prime ministers. You have to have one person who does that job and delegates to others who are underlings. That's how it works. And he says, "Lachen ata v'chol adatecha hano'adim al Adonai ve'Aaron mahu kitalinu alav." He says, therefore, I can tell you that you and all your followers, you are not opposing Aaron. Your problem is not with Aaron being the high priest, but with God, because you know that God appointed him. Then he calls Datan v'Aviram. He deals with them separately because they are not Levites. So he can't tell them, what do you want from the Kehuna? You want to be Kohen? And he says, he sends a messenger, and they have the audacity to refuse his summons. They say, Lo na'ale, we're not going up, which has a double meaning, double entendre. It's Lo na'ale, we're not going up to you, to talk to you, but also we're not going to go to Eretz Yisrael, to Canaan. And then they insult him. It says, "Hama'at ki ha'ilitanu me'eretz zavat halav udvash lahamitenu bamidbar ki tistarer alenu gam istarer." Is it not enough for you that you took us out of the land of milk and honey to kill us in the desert? So what they're telling him, you promised us a land of milk and honey, but you did the opposite. You took us out of the land of milk and honey. That's like the most offensive thing you would have thought. That's the most offensive thing that they could tell him. No, but they go on with the insults. They say, "Ki tistarer alenu gam istarer." Now you assume responsibility. You take authority over us. No?
You told me last year.
Right. So the word tistarer.
From Sar.
Right.
Like.
Misamecha.
Yeah, but here you want to be above, not above us, our leader. Who needs you?
Right. They tell him who needs you as a leader. But first of all, the interesting thing that the word tistarer, I usually don't like to play with a numerical value, but the word tistarer, one of the commentators pointed out, is the numerical value of this word, if you turn it into numbers, is 1500. And that's the word with the highest numerical value in all of the Torah. Not in the Tanakh, but in the Torah, tistarer. So that shows that this is a word that expresses arrogance and feeling of superiority. But remember, yesterday I said that the Midrash equates Datan v'Aviram with the people who confronted Moshe after he killed the taskmasters. Right? What did they tell him? They say, "Misa mecha leish sar v'shofet alenu." Why are you intervening in our business? You killed the taskmaster. Now you want to separate us. You want to be the leader. We don't need you. Misa mecha leish. Who appointed you to be the sar? Sar is a minister, someone in control. Here, when they say "Ki tistarer alenu," they use the same word of his first confrontation, and they tell him, "We know of that altercation. We know what they told you, and we see that we were right. You were wrong." That's very.
So from this, the rabbi knows that it was.
That's the argument. That's the argument of comparison, right? But they don't have to be the same people, like the Ben Ish Chai said. They're just the people who have the same mentality. No, Datan v'Aviram. The same mentality. Now, the next verse is intriguing. They say, "Aflo el eretz zavat halav udvash havi otanu, vatiten lanu nahalat sadeh v'cherem, ha'einei ha'anashim ha'em tenaker, lo na'aleh." They say this: you did not bring us to the land of milk and honey. You did not give us an inheritance with a field and a vineyard. Are you going to poke the eyes of those people out? Are you going to blind us? We will not go up. So they start, we will not go up. They end, we will not go up. They say, you took us off the land of milk and honey, and they say, you did not bring us to the land of milk and honey. But why do they say you didn't bring us? You didn't give us an inheritance of a field and a vineyard? Is it about spending 40 years in the desert? And why do they say you're blinding people? And that is explained by Moshe's reaction. Vayichar le Moshe me'od vayomer el Adonai al tefen el minchatam. Moshe got very upset, very unsettled with that. Turns to God and says, tomorrow when they bring the frankincense, do not accept it. Why? Lo hamor ehad mehem nasati, velo areoti et ahad mehem. I never took bribe from any of them. Even a donkey, hamor ehad mehem nasati, that maybe it was a common way of giving a bribe, because someone could bring the donkey to the judge's court, to the judge's backyard, and give it a kick in the back, and it goes inside. Khalas. And he says, but I never did that. There's a story in the Gemara that has exactly that. The hamor, the two people who had a dispute with the judge. So one came and gave him before the judgment. He gave before the trial. He gave him a nice candelabra, which is in Aramaic sharga. So he gave him sharga. Then the other one came to the judge's house and probably with the donkey, gave it a little pat in the back, and the donkey walked into the backyard. The judge saw that. He comes to court, and the one who gave the candelabra was sure that he's going to win. And the judge says, no, it's the other guy won the case. And they said, Ba habura uvatash b'sharga. The donkey came, kicked the candle and the candelabra and toppled it over. So the donkey is a symbol of giving bribe. Why does Moshe respond with bribe? Where is the suggestion here? So that's how we have to read the pasuk. When they say they are very offensive, they insult him, but then they say, you know what? You didn't bring us to the land of milk and honey, and you didn't give us a field and a vineyard. In parentheses, but if you are willing to negotiate the issue and to give us a field and a vineyard, we can talk. Maybe. How do they hint that? Because they say, are you going to blind them? They don't say us. They should have said, are you going to blind us? They say, are you going to blind them? What is blind is tied to in the Torah, in the Halakha? It says, HaShohad Ya'aver Anei Pikhim. Bribe blinds the wisest people. So they tell him, do you want to blind them? Give us bribe, and we will turn a blind eye to what you're doing. In small words in the Torah, it's amazing how the message is delivered. So Moshe picks on it right away, and he says, here, there's another example of hypocrisy. So there are two different types of hypocrites here. One is the religious hypocrite, Korah and his followers, who come and say, we want everybody is holy, we're all at the same level, we don't need a prophet, we don't need a leader. But when you give them the opportunity, you want to be the leader, here, bring your frankincense, they all want to do that. Then the Tanva Viram are the political leaders. They say, everybody deserves a share in Eretz Israel. Everybody deserves to go to the land. You didn't deliver on your promise to go to the land. But then they say, but you know what? If you give us a piece of the land, everything will be okay. Let's blind them and just charge ahead, you and us. They're steering the people, and they're using the people as a card to get something from the current leader. So Moshe says this is not going to happen. They come on the following day and they stand around Oel Moed, all the people. The people who were supposed to be there were only Moshe and Aaron and the 250 challengers who wanted to be Kohanim. Instead, Vayakhel aleim Korah et kol ha'ida al petach Oel Moed. Korah was able to bring everyone there, make it a public event. And Hashem then tells Moshe and Aaron, "Hibadelu mitoch ha'ida azot va'achale otam keraga." Says, separate yourself from them, and I will destroy all of them. And the word le'ibadel, that le'ibadel is to be separated or to be distinguished, is echoing what Moshe told Bnei Korah, "Hame'at mikem ki hivdil Eloi Yisrael etchem." It says, you're already separated. This is it's a recurring theme in Bamidbar of the ideal, the positive thing that you could do, and when you don't do it, disaster happens. So the right way to do it, the positive way to do it, is Ivdil Elokei Yisrael etchem. When you're muvdal, when you know your distinction, here's the Kohen, here's the Levi, here's the Israel, and here are the people who are out, Metzorah, etc., and everything functions. When they don't do that, Hashem says, the only one who could be distinguished now, Moshe and Aaron, you are the good guys, Ibadelu, move aside, and I will destroy them. Moshe and Aaron respond, Vayomeru el Elohei aruchot lechol basar. Aish echad yichetav al kol ha'ada tikzof. They turn to Hashem with a unique title, only appears twice in Bamidbar. El Elohei aruchot lechol basar. God of all spirits to all flesh. One man has sinned. Why are you going to destroy the whole community? And they use the word tikzof. Ketzef means ire, wrath. That also appears in the beginning of Bamidbar as a warning. If you breach the boundaries, there will be ketzef, there will be wrath. What is the meaning of this title? The God of all spirits to all flesh. They speak about the fact that in flesh, we're all the same. Physically, we're all the same. Right? Human beings, physically we're the same, but spiritually we're different. So only God and fully understands the diversity and the differences between human beings, and that's how you lead a community. So they say God, more than anyone else, should know that this is almost a rebuke to God. You should know that they do not represent the whole community. That's their way of thought. And they were able to mislead the people with their hypocrisy. They make them believe that they represent them. So what does Hashem tell him? Again, here in small words, the Torah sends a message of what is really happening here. The way Moshe delivers the message to the people is move away from the tents of Datan v'Aviram. But the Torah uses the word misaviv leMishkan, from around the tabernacle. The same word that is used for the temple. Why is it called so? Because in the beginning of Bamidbar, the Torah keeps saying that the Leviim, the Levites, had a defined role to be misaviv laMishkan. They had to be around the tabernacle as the guards. They have to watch over the sanctity and the boundaries of the tabernacle, make sure that it's not breached. They themselves breached it. So the punishment comes with the same words, telling the people, remove yourself, misaviv leMishkan, from around the tabernacle of Korah, Datan v'Aviram. Because those transgressors try to become the new leadership, the new tabernacle, without having the honest intention to do so. They were being selfish and self-serving, and so it happens. ויעלו מעל משכן כוח דתן ואבירם מסביב. They remove themselves. ודתן ואבירם יצאו ניצבים. They come out very arrogant and confrontational. ויאמר משה בזאת תדעון כי אדוני שלחני לעשות את כל המעשים האלה כי לא מליבי. This is how you're going to know that what I'm doing is in the name of God. Meaning that, like he said before, they're not arguing with me. They're arguing with God. אם כמות כל האדם ימותון אלה ופקודת כל האדם יפקד עליהם לא אדוני שלחני. He says, if those people would have a natural death, then I do not represent God. But אם בריאה יברא אדוני ופצתה האדמה את פיה ובלעה אותה ואת כל אשר להם וירדו חיים שאולה. Rather, if Hashem will make a new creation for the earth to open its mouth and swallow them, and they will go down living to the netherworld, you will know that they have turned against God. So he drives home the point. This is not between Moshe and Aaron and the people. It's between Korah and God. Because everybody was present at the time of the prophecy. Everybody knew that Moshe is the representative of God. Why is it that the earth opens its mouth? So I mentioned yesterday, the idea is that they did something which is unnatural. After the knowledge of the prophecy to go against God, they opened their mouth to speak hypocritically. Now the earth, which is not supposed to open its mouth, does open its mouth. Also, in the end of Parashat Bamidbar, the Torah says this warning: the people of Kehat, and Korah is from the tribe of Kehat, should not enter the holy of holies and the holy when the Kohanim cover the vessels. The way to take apart the Mishkan and travel was that the Kohanim would come in and cover the vessels, so they would not be in a disrespectful state. And then the Leviim would come and carry those already covered vessels. And the way the Torah phrases it, "Velo yavou lirot kevala et hakodesh." Very unique and interesting word. Why kevala? The Leviim should not come and watch as the holy is being swallowed. Meaning that covering the vessels is a bit disrespectful as something is being swallowed. They had to maintain their boundaries. They did not. What was their punishment? Vativla otam adama. They were swallowed by the land. Amazing literary devices throughout Bamidbar. Each word of admonition in the beginning is reflected by the act that they did not follow and they were punished. But overall, the Torah sends us the message of how to lead a balanced society. How does it work? With the people doing the right thing and everyone follows his role and his task in society. Baruch Adonai, le'olam, amen ve'amen.
Last